Welcome to the 3 and 4 Need More awareness tour across the United States. I'm Dr. Marion, and I've worked in the field of caregiving my whole life. I have witnessed how unexpected caregiving situations can devastate whole families, both financially and emotionally. So I'm taking this trip across the country in my bus Nelly to wake people up to the fact that they need to plan ahead and inform them about the tools and options that are available. One of those options is a reverse mortgage. Now, most people do not understand what exactly a reverse mortgage is or how it works. So we went to Detroit, Michigan to visit one reverse mortgage to get the scoop. Let's ask the experts. Most people don't truly understand what a reverse mortgage is all about. Can you explain it in very simple steps?
Sure. A reverse mortgage is a mortgage like any other, except that there is no obligation to make a monthly repayment as long as the borrowers live in the home. Access to reverse mortgage money is much simpler than conventional financing and allows people who are retired and on fixed incomes to access the equity in their home to either pay off an existing mortgage and eliminate that monthly mortgage payment for life, or pull cash out of their home for living expenses or medical or whatever without having an obligation to add another monthly payment to their finances.
Share with me some of the major concerns people have before they even make the phone call.
I think probably the biggest concern that people express is the home ownership aspect. They think they're giving up their home or selling their home when in fact they're not. They still control their home. If they ever want to pay off the mortgage, they can. If they ever want to sell the home and move on, they can. And the children can still inherit the home and any remaining equity along with it, and they're not aware of that. They're not aware of that. They think they're signing off their home to the government or the bank, and that's not the case at all.
Some people are concerned that their income is going to be affected, their Social Security, their Medicare benefits. Where does that reality lie?
Actually, a reverse mortgage or the proceeds from it do not impact Social Security or Medicare. It can impact Medicaid, and we always recommend that you discuss the possible impact with your local Medicaid office before going into a reverse mortgage.
How complicated or simple is this whole process?
The whole process is actually very simple. First, we have an initial consultation with the client when they call in, and we cover the various aspects of the program. Once we've done that and they decide they want to move forward with the program, we help them schedule an appointment with a certified reverse mortgage counselor who is contracted by FHA as a disinterested third party to give them a third-party perspective on the program and to make sure it's the right program for them and that they do understand it. The majority of the work is done here by us. We fill out the application for the borrower, we send it to them, we walk them through the package when they receive it. They do their counseling with the FHA counselor, and then we take care of the rest. We do the processing and the underwriting here in-house, and when it comes time to close the loan, we arrange for a local agent to come to their home with the closing documents and close the loan for them at that time. They can literally do this loan in their pajamas. They never have to leave the house.
Dr. Marion is on the road, realizing that 3 and 4 need more.
Richard, what is a reverse mortgage?
A reverse mortgage is a way for homeowners who are 62 and older to use the equity in their home. It's really very similar to any other mortgage, except for it does not require a monthly mortgage payment. And you don't have to pay back the loan for as long as you live in the house.
What brings a person to reverse mortgage? Why do they need it?
We have really 3 different types of clients. The first client is someone who really needs to make a change in their financial situation. Retirement has not turned out the way that they hoped. They do have a significant equity in their house, but they're really struggling to get by. And so for those folks, reverse mortgage is really a no-brainer. It's really a great way for them to live a better life and live a better retirement. The second group that we have are clients who You know, they've probably done a little bit better. I would say that they're probably not struggling to get by, but they maybe are not able to help their family the way they would like. Maybe they're not able to see their family as much as they'd like. They're not able to travel or do some of the other things that are important at that phase of their life. And so a reverse mortgage really opens up doors for them. It really makes a significant difference. And then we have other clients who have done a great job with their retirement. It's turned out well. They have good equity in their home, and they just look at this as a really smart way to borrow money. And they also have that option where they don't have to make monthly payments, and they may want to use that. So it's a great way for them to leverage just another one of the assets that they have developed for their retirement.
The reverse mortgage program is something that definitely puts people in a better place, a much more comfortable place financially, and it's a very fulfilling opportunity to be able to do that for them. At the end of the day, you've actually helped somebody, so that's why I love it.
We do good things for them. We really relieve a lot of stress in people's lives.
It makes a big difference when you can take yourself out of the business sense, but into the personal life of people. Because it's one thing to run a business, and we're here to run a business, but it's also remembering that we're affecting people, and they're equally important.
It's really the most rewarding work that I've experienced in really my adult life. We're really changing people's lives.
One Reverse Mortgage is also the sponsor of our Caregiver Contest. You can win a complete makeover worth $50,000 in products and services that will make a huge difference in your life. What you need to do is submit your elder caregiving story to www.3in4needmore.com/contest. Caregiving has become so difficult in our society because people live so dispersed and lead extremely busy lives. It is such a pleasure to meet someone who not only takes care of her own elders, but also helps others in her community and teaches her own children the basic values of family and of giving.
I believe my passion is working with elderly. It's something that I've done for a very long time. And I like to just take time because they need people to talk to also as well. They need time spent out. And it's just something that I love to do. And I train my kids when they got a little older and as they were younger to always take the time out with elderly. Always take the time out. It doesn't cost you anything. Just do what you can because everybody needs a little love. Everybody needs a little love. And I'm just compassionate about what I do.
Tell me how you're training your children to have some old-fashioned values.
We started when my son was younger, and he likes to do grass, and he likes to shovel snow. He's just kind of like an outside kid. So when he was younger, a lot of the block that we grew up on was much of the elderly that lives on that block remember me when I was younger. So he started out just doing the grass and picking up little things. So I said, you know what? Let's make this out something good. So he goes around the neighborhood, he cuts grass for free, he takes their garbage out for free, runs store errands, whatever needs to be done. And he likes to do it. He doesn't mind doing it. It doesn't cost you a dime, doesn't charge anything. It's something that comes from his heart. It just needs to be more people that does it. It's just got to come from the heart. I want to pass along the word to other people that everybody needs somebody. Everybody needs somebody, and I'm glad that I was blessed enough and have the goodness enough in my heart to help, because I enjoy every second of it. I really do. I enjoy every second of it. So I'm just hoping that I can pass a message along to somebody else and they'll feel the same way. And the line will just keep on going.
I love it.
Thank you.
Let me give you a hug.
Thank you so much.
This is gorgeous.
It's wonderful to be here in Detroit, a city that has known greatness, has fallen deep, and now is climbing from its ashes like the phoenix. One unique example of Detroit's revitalization is the Heidelberg Project in the heart of the city.
Basically, what we're doing here is using art as a catalyst for change. And the symbolism behind using found objects or discarded materials is really symbolic of how a community has become discarded. But what happens when you pick these things up, dust them off, add color, you literally breathe new life back into the things, and hence we're breathing new life back into a community and people, rebuilding the human spirit. So it's a place that invites, I think, a sense of hope.
Tell me about the residents that live on this street, especially the elderly.
Well, now that's very interesting, because when you look at a community like this, one that's so old, that basically is what makes up the community. So we have two residents that live in the two houses that are not decorated. Mrs. Irma Hollingsworth, who's 99, and Mr. and Mrs. Virgil Dykes, who are both in their late 80s. And one of the things that I think they get from this and what they enjoy is being able to sit out on their porch and meet people from all over the world. And I know when I asked Mrs. Irma what her secret was for her longevity, and she said she didn't worry. I think it's her state of mind. And she had a birthday party that we attended, and she actually was on the dance floor. How about that? Well, you know, when you think about age is just a number. But what is it that can spark motivation? What is it that can bring inspiration to a person? There's no number on that. You can find hidden treasures throughout the city of Detroit because there's a resilience in this city. Most people have a tendency of focusing on the blight and the spaces and the dilapidation and the abandoned buildings. But I say focus on the people, because the people of Detroit are resilient, and you find pockets of creativity throughout the city of Detroit. I turn down the street and I've had butterflies in my stomach for 18 years because you never know what's going to happen. And the power of art to really be transformative is so evident, and that's very powerful.
Having grown up in Harlem in New York City, I know what it's like to live in a community that's neglected and streets are broken up and fire hydrants that don't work and a whole bunch of negative aspects of being poor. And this community has spirit, and I think the art projects are just glorious. Creative, to say the least. Again, another clock with all these stuffed animals brings out the childlike aspects of an individual. And I like being in an art environment that's not telling you what to think. Like, what do you think about that? It's just a reaction to it. The Heidelberg Project here in Detroit is art in its most creative arena. No matter where you look, the buildings are colorful, joyful, animals, stuffed animals are all over the place. Discards from other area are made into objects of art, but they are really objects of love, telling a story about an area in Detroit that has been overlooked or neglected. Art always gives people hope, inspiration, a sense of community, a sense of belonging, a sense of oneness, and a sense of who they are as individuals. And art, no matter how it is manifested, makes people think and have emotions. And the emotions of this community are screaming out, pay attention to us. We still exist. We are important. And we will not be neglected or deserted or forgotten.